And also in an interview with Reuters regarding trade negotiations with the United States, President Lee Jae Myung said a currency swap agreement is necessary to avoid an economic crisis. For more on trade talks with Washington, we're joined today by Dr. Soo-young, professor at the College of Business and Economics at Chung-Ang University. Professor Song, thanks for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thank you for having me here.
So what President Lee Jae Myung said this morning is that without a currency swap, if South Korea were to withdraw $350 billion in the manner that the United States is demanding, Seoul would face a financial crisis like the one it experienced in 1997, right? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, actually, this is a really realistic threat against some financial status of Korean economy as a whole. So I consider the response was very appropriate and take into account the potential impact of the sudden outflow of the cash in terms of the international US dollar. That is a really serious burden for our country's financial status in terms of the international settlement currency reserve. So considering the size of our reserve, this $3,600 billion, $360 billion investment, without any assurance about under which country, actually this is a Trump demand that this is an unconditional investment. So to that regards, it not only affects the financial status of Korea, but also I think the political stance within in Korea for President Lee. So considering that it's urgent for our country to have some kind of currency swap, or I think I heard that President Lee is going to have a talk with some financial experts in while he paid a visit to UN United Nations meeting, General Assembly, and then that is I think that is related with some his concern about the financial status. So to that regard, still we need to be very careful and cautious, but still we need to the optimal strategy is to delay the settlement or the investment in the U.S. should be under control by South Korea.
Right, we'll have to see how that goes. And auto tariffs are another key issue between Seoul and Washington. Japanese cars actually face lower tariffs in the United States than Korean cars, as they face 15%, whereas Korean cars face 25%. How should Seoul work on negotiations with Washington to minimize that impact on Korean car makers?
The immediate negative impact is unavoidable, I believe, because as far as the U.S. is going to impose a 25% tariff because of the no settlement of the $360 billion unconditional investment in the U.S., but that should be addressed as a temporary burden for South Korea. So at least the Hyundai and Kia or the major exporting cars to the U.S. market cannot avoid this situation. But in order to avoid this 25% tariff just for auto, signing with some unconditional investment is too much cost, which will be spread out among the Korean domestic people. So to that regards, I think even with a 25%, Hyundai Kia must take into account of that cost and build some factories within the U.S. to avoid the tariff. And also, the Kia and the Hyundai must develop some potential export to other countries without any tariff, such as China and Europe and Russia and other countries. That is an escape route to relieve the burden of this kind of pressure. So for me, my opinion is the Hyundai Kia has really, they must persevere this kind of difficulties for the time being.
I see. And the Trump administration is also saying that it'll impose a $100,000 fee for applicants of H-1B visas that's required for foreign workers with specialized skills to work in the United States. So the idea is apparently to push companies to hire more American workers than foreign workers, right? But some say this could hit a lot of companies pretty hard, especially big tech firms in the United States. What's your take on this?
Yeah, this morning I just saw the news about some Indian workers in the San Francisco and the Silicon Valley area. They received a message that the plane who are scheduled to have a vacation abroad has been received the message that disembark from the airplane and then come back to because of this unstable and very vulnerable visa status. So this implies that most of the foreign workers think twice again whether they would like to stay in the U.S. Then this policy is to encourage the foreign workers to gather some U.S. citizenship. Otherwise, their status is going to be very vulnerable. Therefore, this could have some impact. Intentionally, they increase this kind of visa fee and some jeopardize foreign workers, particularly the skilled, high-skilled, high-quality workers to acquire the U.S. citizenship. I think that is the ultimate goal of the Trump administration right now.
I see. That sounds pretty concerning. And all right, Professor Song, I'm afraid that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for your insight. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.